Tim Wood here on Ranger Nation Radio and MVC Sports today. Very excited to be talking to one of the leaders. Well, yeah, one of the leaders. We can easily say that of the Methuen boys hockey team. One of our weekly MVPs in the MVC Sports Today vote. Aidan Hollingsworth, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. All right. So, in terms of just talk about this team is young. This Rangers team is young. You are the grizzled veteran of a young team. What has that been like so far in terms of how you're seeing this team come together?
Well, it's a huge honor to be the veteran. I think a lot of the kids look up to me, and I do my best to try to set the right example for them. We are a young team, and we're going to learn and we're going to get better as the year goes on.
You guys have had some high spots. The overtime quote unquote win versus Concord Carlisle. I don't know how they're tracking it in terms of it being a tie. I saw a win. That's all. And you saw a win on the ice. So, the Revere game was outstanding. Definitely been some highs. In terms of what you're seeing from the young guys. How is the kind of the mix of the young guys and the older veterans coming together?
Well, the young guys, they have a lot of potential, and we're using them on our top lines, and they're gonna be really good in the future. The mix, we were working pretty well together. Old guys working with new guys. Coach just does a great job of getting us to work together. Team bonding, all that. We're really good friends, and yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Coach Blackwell and just how what his style is and how he's as you said kind of brought everybody together.
Well, Coach was my 5th grade teacher at the Marsh, and I've always looked up to him. And he's a get your job done type of guy, and whether it's school or a game, you have to get your job done. You have to look out for the guy next to you, and I've taken that with me through my years.
What is it like, kind of having a teacher become your coach?
Well, it's kind of funny, but it's good because I've really built a nice relationship with him over the years, and I've been close with him, and I wouldn't want anyone else to be my coach.
Good people, and you played with his son as well.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of how the season's playing out, how do you feel in terms of how this team has taken the losses and taken the positives from every situation?
Well, every game, whether it's a win or loss, we learn. Whether we played good, whether we played bad. And the team's just going to continue to grow and get better as the season goes on.
So you have a little bit of a greater perspective in life instead of just kind of every game being the all-encompassing end of the world or the highest peak. You've fought off former cancer on your leg. What is that in terms of it being in the rearview mirror now? And I just want to confirm, you're still getting tests and everything's been great.
Yeah,
that's awesome. In terms of having been through that scare and kind of had to deal with some life and death moments in terms of hearing that C word thrown out, how has that kind of helped you in terms of coming back to the team and leading?
Well, I think it just made me stronger and a better person because now I know I can't take life for granted. I can't take anything for granted. So I think I can show the other guys on the team what it's like to be a leader, to not take things for granted, and I think they'll look up to me.
I read great Tribune article by Kyle Gaudet back in 2018. Read that. You talked about how hockey has always been the safe space, has always been the place that You feel the most comfortable. Where did that start for you?
I think when I was really young, I've always looked up to the Bruins. I've always looked up to any professional hockey player because it's your game. You love it, and there's nothing you'd rather be doing than skating on the ice with a bunch of friends, shooting pucks. It's a great feeling, and I think everyone feels the same. I think everyone finds their sport to be their safe place, no matter what.
Absolutely, and you also play lacrosse.
Hmm.
Had a big game-winning goal this fall. How does lacrosse help you, and vice versa? Hockey and how do hockey and lacrosse go together?
Well, definitely keeps me in shape, but there's a few hockey players on the lacrosse team, so I feel like we kind of built chemistry that way. Catching and throwing a ball with a stick, I feel like it's kind of worked my hands too. It's yeah,
Absolutely good hand-eye coordination.
yeah.
Tim Wood here on MVC Sports Today, Ranger Nation Radio, talking with Aidan Hollingsworth, the Rangers boys hockey captain. So 3.9 GPA in the fall, 3.3 overall. Where does school fit into this? How have you managed to find that student athlete balance in terms of fitting everything in?
Well, my sister does it, so I'm expected to do it as well. My parents are very supportive of me to get my things done, and I do what I'm supposed to do. That's all.
How have you, in terms of the time management, in terms of just kind of fitting it all in? Um, when did you start kind of figuring that out? In terms of I know I got to get the schoolwork done, but I got to get the practice in. When did you start to figure it out and kind of master it?
My dad's always been on me because he's always said school's more important than hockey, even though, I like hockey a lot more than I like
You'd
school.
argue, yeah.
I'd argue. Yeah, my parents have always just been on me just to get your schoolwork done. School's important, and I love hockey, so hockey's kind of like a reward at the end of the day after school.
So in terms of, you mentioned your sister Kaya, she's the goalie on the Red Rangers
Hmm.
team. How are you guys in terms of siblings? In terms of, I mean, what's like 1 to 10? Where would you put the competition level between the two of you at?
I don't think the scale goes high enough. We're frenemies, we're best friends, but at the same time, we don't get along. But we'll always look out for each other, and we'll always be best friends. We'll always have each other's backs.
I got three older sisters, so I know exactly. You put it the perfect way. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's um, in terms of just seeing the success that she's had. I mean, did you see her? Did you see that skill like right out of the gate when you guys first went to the learn to skate session back in the day?
I didn't start to see her true talent till around seventh, eighth grade, because she always used to play on my boys' teams. So she was always up a level. She was always getting high quality shots, playing with great players. So
Yeah,
that's how she really developed into the great goalie that she is today.
she take a lot of lumps, a lot of losses, a lot of lumps in goal playing against the boys, or was she just knocking their socks off too?
A little bit of both. She would adjust, and that just made her better.
Now, what was that like for you, just in terms of uh, having to kind of defend having the girl on the boys team?
Yeah, well, it definitely made me more cautious because I'd have to look out for her. And, I was always worried on the ice. I didn't want her to get hit. Just always cautious. Yeah.
Now that's a weird word for a hockey player, because your coach, Coach Blackwell describes you as just tenacious, always after it. Um, so it's interesting to hear you use the word cautious.
Yeah. Well, it's my sister we're talking about, so I have to look after her.
Absolutely. In terms of um, where do you see yourself continuing to play hockey after high school?
I do. I don't know where yet, but the passion I have for the game will only make me play as long as I can.
Absolutely. I mean, are you in that process at this point? Kind of trying to figure out where?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still applying to schools for college,
Yep,
but I'm definitely trying to figure that out as soon as I can.
absolutely.
Hmm.
So tell me a little bit in terms of your teammates. Like who's the guy that you've been playing with forever that you guys are just kind of know what each other's doing on the ice?
Ethan Shenna, he was on my teams. He was on a bunch of my youth teams, and now he's my left winger. So we have great chemistry. We always know where we are, and we're best friends too. So it makes it better.
Awesome. Um, who's the one guy in terms of if you could pick one guy because you're obviously a leader to all, but is there one of these young guys that you've kind of taken under your wing more than others?
One of the freshmen, Owen Nealand, he's a quiet guy, but he has a lot of skill and a lot of potential, and I think he's going to be an amazing player when he grows up.
How describe what MVC DCL describe the like just the level of play that you see on a week to week basis.
Oh, well, there's some great teams. Cambridge is a very physical, fast, skillful team. You have Drake at Tingsboro that we're playing today, another hard-hitting, physical, skillful team. Yeah, the MVC DCL, there's a lot of great teams, and I think we fit in well. We're a hard-working team. We have some skill. We can throw the body around. I think the MVC DCL is very competitive and is a very skillful league.
You've been I mean you're part of that team that made it past the first round since for the first time since '92.
Hmm.
Went on to the EMAS Division II semis.
Yeah.
In terms of just having that experience, um, how do you pass that on to these guys that like we can get there?
I think it's a lead by example mentality. So every shift, skate as hard as you can. Every shift, do everything you can as well as you can. So you can show these younger guys what to do in the right situations and hopefully form them into a player that always does the right thing.
So I asked you what you did for before kind of pre-interview. I asked you like, what do you do for fun? And you're just like,
Yeah.
hockey's my fun.
Hockey
Um,
is my fun, yeah.
uh, is there ever that? Is there ever? Do you ever feel pressure on the ice, or is it just always fun?
It's always fun. I mean, yeah, there's definitely pressure or pre-game jitters. Like you're always nervous, but hockey's my fun. When I'm home after practice, I might play NHL, might go in my basement, stick handle, shoot a few pucks, practice. Hockey's just everything for me.
Just never stopping, huh?
Just never
Like
stopping. Same
even
thing with my
even your
sister.
video game is NHL 20.
Yeah. Hmm.
are, are you? Do you watch the Bruins, or are you the guy that just prefers to be playing? I don't like to watch as much, other than your own, other than your own team stuff. Or do you like watching the Bruins as well?
I watch any hockey as often as I can.
Yeah.
The other last weekend, I was just watching the World Junior Championships that were taking place in, I think, Slovakia. So yeah, I'm always watching hockey, whether it's the Bruins, college, might be watching my sister's game here at
Yep.
the rink.
Yep.
Always watching hockey.
Nice. Who's your go-to guy on the Bruins?
Probably David Pastrnak. He's a very skillful, flashy player, and I think everyone likes him. Yeah.
And the Bruins are your team, obviously in the NHL 20.
Yep.
Nice. Who's the most competitive teammate when you're playing with friends? When you're playing NHL 20?
Probably James Trussell.
Yeah.
No matter what he does, whether it's school or hockey, he always does it with as much effort as he can, and it's great because it just makes everyone better.
Now, do you know how to get under his skin when you're playing NHL 20 in terms of just psyching him out a little bit?
Oh, of course. I know all my teammates' sweet spots.
You got to. That's part of it. So where do you rank in the hierarchy in terms of NHL 20?
Probably number one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not afraid to say it?
Not afraid to say it.
Who's chasing you? Who's closest?
Probably Brian Corcoran
Okay.
and another freshman,
Yeah.
Jack Allard. They're pretty good.
Nice. All right. Um, in terms of uh, what's next for you,
Hmm.
are you how do you kind of keep focused on the here and now, knowing that there's a next?
Well, I think you just enjoy it while you can. And Coach Blackwell has told us every practice that the seasons go by fast. I remember being a freshman. I never thought I'd be where I am now. I never thought I'd be a senior my last year of hockey, maybe. But I just enjoy it while I can, and hopefully I can go on to play at the next level for the rest of my life.
You feel like you're the guy that no matter 45, you're gonna still be playing in rec leagues
Yeah, whether it's recreational or wherever I end up, I love the game,
as
so
long
I'll
as you could put on the skates. You're gonna be playing.
yep, as long as I can.
Nice. Um, anything that we haven't hit on that you kind of want to get out there? How about shout outs in terms of you mentioned your parents. What are their names?
My dad's name is Jim. I love him, and I love my mom, Robin. They're both big supporters of me, and I don't know where I'd be without them. I also want to give shout outs to my assistant captains, Charles DeVolio, James Trussell, and Josh Perkins. They do a lot for me, and they're great leaders as well. They're also great hockey players. And my whole team. My whole team, I love them. They're my brothers, and there's no one else I'd rather be with.
Now, tell me, you guys got out the vote for like any time. I mean, Methuen, Drake it. You got. I mean, so far it's been Methuen, Drake it. Like when we do these MVC votes every week, it's like you guys know how to get out the vote. Like, what was that like, or were you even paying attention, or was anybody telling you like what is it about Methuen in terms of getting out the vote?
Well, the first person that told me about my poll was my sister. I had no clue that it was posted on Twitter, but once I found out, I let my teammates know, I let my parents know, and they, I hope, voted for me.
They did. I mean, the word spread. I get I get all kind of the retweets in terms of folks that are sending out vote for Aidan, vote for great kid, vote for and the word definitely got out. I think honestly it speaks to who you are. I think it speaks to what you're a leader by example, and you've been just a phenomenal representative for Methuen High School and for Methuen student athletes. It was awesome to see it because you
Thank you.
definitely you're not out there looking for recognition, but it's definitely good to see you get a little bit.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Any last shout outs before we let you go?
Um,
Teachers.
um, Mr. Cripps, who was my AP US history teacher last year, he taught me a lot. He was a lacrosse lover, so we bonded over that. But he's one of my favorite teachers, and I love him.
Nice. Nice. Aidan Hollingsworth, a pleasure speaking to you. Really, really appreciate you getting on here and wishing you guys well against Drake tonight and just with the rest of the season here. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for the time today.
Thank you so much.